If I talk about dating, I actually will open somebody's yash. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ishioma, or you can call me Ishi. And today we're having our first ever girl chat. Like, we're gonna yap today. This is serious. I wanted to do this chit chat without doing a makeup get ready with me because I feel like I kind of tend to go off screen. And sometimes it's just good to talk face to face and just like, let's sit down and have a talk. It's important. It's like one of those talks where you get dinner and drinks and you sit down face to face and talk with a friend with. Like, I'd rather have that energy rather than doing makeup right now. I'll probably still do something like that in the future, but I just wanted a regular girl chat, because why not? I know we're well into 2025, but at the end of the day, things don't really count until January 21st. But I wanted to start off this first ever girl chat with talking about what's out for 2024, what's in for 2025, things like that. Share our goals, share what we want to do, what we overcame last year, what we want to do better this year. Like, I want us to grow together. Without further ado, let's get into this girl chat. 2024 was a year. It was a year. I don't even know what kind of year to call it. I can't call it a good year, but I can't call it a bad year. It was just a lot. I will say, I feel like 2024 was a year of growth. I feel like I grew a lot as a person, as a content creator, as a person in the health science field. I grew as a researcher. I grew as someone who loves academics. I grew a lot. In terms of talking about what's in for 2025 and what's out for 2024, it's really important to reflect on the year before. At the end of the day, you have to look back at the past so you can plan out your future. Let's go ahead and do a full-on 2024 recap. And I really want to start off with achievements. So in 2024, I graduated with my master's in public health from Emory University. I'm really proud of myself for that one, actually, because at first when I applied to grad school, it was because I wasn't ready for med school yet. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And the gap year is going to pass by anyway. Might as well get a degree on top of it. But I really enjoyed my time in my graduate program. I think this is where I really solidified myself as a beauty content creator and just an actual influencer. Like, I actually was like doing my thing. I was juggling work. I was juggling this, and I was juggling being a student, being a full-time student. And girl, they definitely made me work. But at the end of the day, like, I really sat my butt down and learned how to focus. So now I'm a 24-year-old with a master's degree. I hit 100K on TikTok. That was a really big moment for me, and I really appreciate the fact that I was able to finally cross that line. My friends and I helped celebrate the whole thing. I'm telling you, we did a whole celebration video. I'll plug it right here. We did a celebration video just to celebrate me, you know, hitting 100K, and then we went out to dinner. We had a cake and everything. I'm definitely gonna try and see if I can get that here too. It's gonna take a little bit more work, but we're gonna try and get that here as well. That's kind of what my goal is in terms of switching over to YouTube. I want 10%, 10 to 20%, at least 10 to 20% of what I have on TikTok to come to YouTube. I got to pay off all my debts. You know, that 19 to 21, I was not good with my credit cards at all. And I was in a mess. Like, I messed myself up with that. And I'm being really transparent when I talk about it because a lot of people don't talk about how, like, you know, some people weren't smart with their credit cards. I wasn't one of them. I got a credit card and got crazy with it, you know, because I started paying off my debts when I was like 22. And I completely paid all of them off last year. Like, I was done. Like, I just wiped them off last year. So that was really important to me, especially since I'm getting older and I want better financial health and I want better financial literacy. I wanted to get rid of all of those credit card debts. So I'm glad I got to take care of that. We moved into a new apartment. It's basically a townhome. It's literally in the middle of everything, so we're kind of close to everybody. Yeah, it's busy. Don't get me wrong, it's busy, but it's really convenient and it's really pretty, and we get to be close to all of our friends and family. I'm not all the way across in East Atlanta anymore. It's great. I personally love it. My last apartment, it was great for the time I needed it for grad school, but that apartment was dark. We were never getting any natural sunlight in that apartment ever. We loved it even though we had a lot of issues. Oh girl, we had a lot of issues. Gnats in the summer, disgusting. Like, it was bad in the summer. So gnats in the summer, water leakages everywhere because people's washing machines were overflowing. The whole thing was just, it was a mad thing. So my thesis that I did in grad school got accepted to be presented at the American Public Health Association in Minneapolis. It was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Personally, that was just a really big moment for me, especially as someone in a health career. Like, my research, first author, I did this on my own. Is being recognized like this, especially as an early career professional. And at 24, oh yeah, girl. I'm a smart little cookie. Don't get me wrong, while I did all these achievements, while I did all these things, I definitely still had a lot of challenges because 2024, like I said, was not necessarily the best year ever. It was still, we had a lot. We had a lot of things happen. My number one thing, I guess I wasn't focused. My number one challenge that I had in 2024, I wasn't as focused on my fitness goals. And that was really important to me because at the beginning of 2024, I got really tired of being the weight that I am. And I was working out every day, maybe 5 to 6 days a week. I was intermittent fasting and I had a calorie deficit. I was doing weightlifting, Pilates, and cardio like a mad woman. I was so active. I was super active and I lost 20 pounds. And then around my birthday is when, it was my birthday, so I wasn't focused on doing that. And then also we literally got right back into second year. As soon as second year hit, it was right back to not working out anymore. I didn't have the time to work out. I was busy with my thesis. I was busy with work, and I was busy with this. I just could not figure out how to put it into my schedule. And then I was stress eating all the time, and I basically gained the weight back. But we are slowly working back into a more active lifestyle. I don't want to be as sedentary anymore. I'm not saying I want to be like a mad woman last time so I can lose as much weight as fast as I can in a certain amount of time, but I want to be more active again. I stopped drinking too. To really focus on my fitness goals, I stopped drinking alcohol. Even the small little cocktails here and there, I'm really weaning off of that. I said, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol so I can really actually lose weight. I didn't hit my financial goals because I couldn't break certain habits. Some of the money habits that I really had and I'm trying to stop now was eating out too much. The Uber Eats app loved me, okay? The Uber Eats app loved me. They were seeing me all the time. This year I had to delete Uber Eats off of my phone. I said, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. I don't want to be tempted. There's so many food places around where I live too, so it's I don't want to be tempted, so let me just delete this app off of my phone. So if I do want to go get food, I just actually have to get in my car and go get the food. And I also wanted to get into investments. I didn't get to invest the way I wanted to. So I am kind of behind on my financial goals, to be honest. But it's okay because we're using this time to catch up, okay? We're using this time to catch up, start an investment portfolio. Yeah, I'm learning a little bit more. So I'm taking more time to learn about that. Dating was... yeah, dating was a lot. That's a whole bunch of different videos I could talk about because dating was just not it. I did not enjoy whatever dating had to offer me in 2024. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to talk about dating for too long because if I talk about dating, I actually will open somebody's nyash. So I don't want to talk about dating too much, but I will talk about it later. I will talk about it in other videos. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, is she going to talk about me? Yes, I will be talking about you. Because if you didn't want to be a story on the YouTube, if you didn't want to be a story on the TikTok, you shouldn't have done the stupid shit you did. Dating was not that girl. Dating was not fun for me. I did go on dates. I went on more dates than I have in the past years, but they weren't necessarily the greatest dates. They were just, oh my God. From getting catfished to being played in my face, I was tired. And here's the thing, I am not a woman who really sticks around for stuff. I don't stick around for disrespect. I don't stick around for game. I don't stick around for none of that. So if you are going to be weird, oh baby, I'll be peculiar. I will leave you exactly where you are. Because I know my worth and it's very apparent to the men I date. And honestly, if you don't believe me, take it from this guy.
You give off very much I know I'm a queen, I'm gonna get mine. I know that I'm worth a billion puddings. I know what I'm worth. I'm not gonna let some man come and try to tell me otherwise.
Act accordingly. Now, procrastination showed me shaky that year. Oh my gosh. You know how you go through school, you go through college, you go through high school, hell, I even went through grad school saying, okay, I can wait till last minute to write this paper. I can wait till last minute to do this project. I can wait till last minute to do this thing. I can wait till the last minute. And I did it and I'd still be okay. Because, I was smart. I thought that was it, right? No, in the real world, procrastination is actually very dangerous. And it made me lose out on a really, really important opportunity. If you know you have something really important to do, if you know you have something really important, don't wait on that. The real world will actually show you consequences for procrastination. They really will. Don't play with that. My relationship with God was suffering. I don't think I was in my Bible enough. I wasn't tapped into prayer enough. I wasn't as spiritual as I wanted to be. And I think that's really where a lot of things felt directionless because I just wasn't going to my source. So because I wasn't connected with God, or I felt very distant from God, I felt like I just had no direction. And again, like I said, this year, we're definitely taking a different approach. Like, we're definitely focusing on getting closer to God, definitely building more of a better relationship with Jesus. Like, that's my focus for the rest of this year and onward. But just for this year, I really want to try and get into my habit of reading and praying more. These things I'm trying to work on are really important because hitting your mid-20s, 25 is sneaking up, child. I'm 24. I'm 24 and 25 is sneaking up on me. I turned 25 in August. And maybe I feel that way because I was kind of on autopilot for some of those years. I was kind of just like going through the motions and taking each day and just saying, well, if I could just make from this day to the next and this day to the next, like I wasn't really living. And for some of you guys might also be hitting 25 soon, or you're hitting 24, 23, or however young you might be hitting, right? But you're getting older. You know, you're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to be serious about my life now because the age I'm turning is starting to sound really serious. Like, I cannot make the same stupid young bitch mistakes. Like, I need to, you know, do better about my life because I'm getting older, which is very true, right? But here's some things that I learned in my early 20s that I feel like it's really going to help into my mid-20s. Because I personally don't consider my mid-20s until 25. Like, when I'm 25, that's when I'm in my mid-20s. 26, 27, yes. 28, 29, that's late. Thank you. That's how I see it. Like, in your 20s, everybody's doing completely different things, but you sometimes feel like you are behind because you're not doing what they want to do. You know, some of our friends are getting married, some of our friends are having children, people are moving on to making their own family units, people are finding their careers and succeeding in them, and you're still trying to figure out what's going on. That's also me too. And sometimes it feels like you're left behind. I feel like when I turned 24, I had to kind of reteach myself or reparent myself into not feeling behind. I grew up in a very protective, strict African home, so dating was just not a thing for me. I didn't even think I was capable of doing it. One, because I just was not allowed to. If I even looked at a boy, I was in trouble. And then now all of a sudden I'm hitting 25, so everyone's looking at me like, where's your husband? Where's your boyfriend? I'm like, that's not my fault. You have do not look at me. Like, what are you talking about? I don't have one for you. So I'm 24, gonna turn 25 in August, haven't had my first boyfriend yet. And a lot of people can relate. So it's not just a me thing. And that's a really important thing for you to understand if you're in the same position. It's not a you thing. It's just not a you thing. Nothing's wrong with you, right? And you're not behind. And I think something that really helped me with the feeling of feeling behind, or feeling as if I just wasn't normal or something was wrong with me because I wasn't hitting these milestones like everyone else was at the same time. Easy to say, but harder to do, is I stopped comparing myself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. That is true. You have to quite literally stop looking at other people's lives and thinking that you are not doing enough because these people are hitting these milestones in this time and you're not. That's just not the case. Everyone has their own path. And that now requires you actively reminding yourself that you're on your own path. And this quite literally looks like taking a step back when you feel like that and saying to yourself, whether in your head or out loud, I'm on my own path. I shouldn't be looking at anybody else. I know what I need to do. There's certain things in my life that I have to do and take care of before I can even think about going where they're going. One really big thing that helped me. Do you know how when we look at people's lives on social media and we're like, well, they're probably faking it. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. While that may be true, they also could just be living that well. And you need to be okay with that, because that is now feeding into jealousy. And jealousy is a very natural human feeling, but it's what you do with that. Because now you're seeing them live well, you feel jealous, you feel envious. That is a natural human feeling. However, now to take that jealousy and now say, well, they're probably living a miserable life behind the camera, not everything is real, not everything on social media is real, you're now speaking bad onto their lives. You're now gossiping about that person, demeaning that person in your mind to you. You don't know what they worked for. You don't know if they have fasted for what they have. You don't know if they have toiled day and night for what they have. You don't know what they have done, but they have it. They've earned it. Even if you feel like they didn't earn it, they earned it. Taking your jealousy to now demean somebody, that's not how we move forward. So, you need to just accept, you quite literally need to say to yourself, even if you don't believe it, just say to yourself, I'm happy this person is living well. I'm happy that they have worked hard enough to get to this point. What can now I do so I can not be in the same position, but be in a position where my life is so good that I can show it off this way? Either you use that jealousy and fuel it towards yourself, or you get rid of it. We're not doing that. I had to stop doing that. But when I did that and I used the jealousy that I was feeling in my heart from seeing other people live well and seeing people progress in their careers, in their love lives, in their family life. Like when I saw all these things, I'd be envious. I had to just kind of be like, okay, well, what can I do? What can Ishi do right now? What can I do in my life? What can I put towards myself? What skill can I grow? I have to put it back towards me. If I want these things that I'm feeling jealous about, I need to work my ass off. And I need to figure out where I can improve and get better. And that's why, one, my quality of content has gone up. Two, that's why I literally bust my butt every day to make content, which I really enjoy, but I have to work hard to make this happen. Here's a really hard part of this, right? When you're comparing yourself to other people, you also need to ask yourself, are you even prepared for what they have? Clock it. Yeah, I said it. Like, do you think you have any of the tools, any of the discipline, any of the work ethic? Think about that for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have it, don't come and ask for it. I can't say that I want to be a really big influencer, or I can't say I want to be a really good content creator if I'm not sitting down and learning how to perfect my craft. It's a really hard thing to look at yourself and say. Don't even get me wrong. Looking at yourself and saying, I'm not doing enough. It's a hard conversation, but if you want to grow, you gotta have it. Everybody and their mama getting engaged. Everybody and their mama getting married. Everybody and their mama is having babies. And those things are not mutually exclusive. People are moving on in life. And some of us, especially women, like, because again, I'm a woman, I really am more in community with women, so I'm hearing these more from women. Every day I be on Twitter, engagement. If I was on Instagram, engagement. If I was on TikTok, engagement. If I was on YouTube, engagement. I said, oh God, Pinterest even, engagement. I just said, God. One really big thing that really helped me in terms of getting more accustomed with that, or at least getting more comfortable with it and not feeling those feelings of jealousy, envy, or not feeling on track, was to celebrate those moments with people. Celebrate those moments with people when it happens for them. So when it happens for you, they can celebrate you. And I'm not saying fake it. I'm saying you need to talk to yourself and say, I am happy for this person. They are experiencing a very happy, once in a lifetime moment, and I need to be happy for them. And for my women who are turning 25, 26, hell, even your 30s, detach yourself from the timeline. And you know what I mean when I say that. Detach yourself from the timeline that you have created for yourself. It's okay to plan. It's okay to have an idea of what the future is supposed to look like, because at the end of the day, direction is important. We all must need direction. But that timeline that you had for yourself when you were like 16, 17, of how you were gonna have kids and be married by 25, detach yourself from it. Because God does not work like that. Life does not work like that. Relationships are a matter of luck. You meet the right person at the right time and you just make it work. Especially now that we live in a world where we don't have to depend on men for a lot of things. There's a lot of freedom. So now you actually get to take more time to know who that person is. Is he a good person? Is he narcissistic? Is he toxic? Is he a good man? Doesn't have to be a man. Partner. Is she a good woman? Is she a good person? Is she a good partner? Are they good partners? It's a really important question to ask. And you get to take more time and really figure that out. But you cannot do it when you are attaching yourself to this timeline. Really big question that you need to ask yourself about when you see things like that and you feel a certain kind of way. Are you selfless enough to start a family right now? I know I'm not. I got things I want to do. And there's no way I want to sit down and be somebody's wife and be somebody's mama right now when there's still countries I haven't visited, when there's certain things I still haven't done, when there's certain degrees I still haven't gotten yet. Like, I don't want to be somebody's wife. I don't want to be somebody's mom until I do those things. I feel like there's just so much life for me to live, and I want to experience a life of where I have a lot of money, like stupid money, and I can do whatever I want, and I got my medical school degree, and you know, like I want to just take care of me. I want to get me out the way. I want to do what I gotta do first for my life, so when I get older and I have kids, I'll have stories to tell them, so they can look to me and they can say, oh, my mom did all this before she got married. She had a life before me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have a life before I have a family. Be honest with yourself. I'm not selfless enough to have a family. As a mid-20s woman in my career and professional life, again, with me in med school, that's a whole different thing, but I'm still working and I'm trying to actually find a new job right now. And the job market is hard. But thank God that I have content creation as a career where I can really enjoy what I'm doing. And I'm creating things and putting things out there that would help people and engage in conversations and engage in community. That's something I'm really thankful that I have this for. But when you're seeing other people do well in their careers and you think, oh, well, what am I doing? Baby, you and your career journey depends on your willingness to persevere. It depends on you being teachable, and it depends on you working from the way up. Like, especially if you work in health, you cannot start off that, like, you usually have to like work your way up into these positions. You want to like one of those long standing careers, like law, like medicine, engineering even, you gotta be willing to work your way up. When you have goals, it one puts you in a sense of direction, and that's why I really want to go over my goals for 2025. And I split these into tangible and intangible goals. So tangible goals are things that like I can do, I can get my hands on, I can touch. The result is something that I can touch. The intangible goals are more of the emotional and spiritual goals that I have for myself. I want to start off with my tangible goals first because they're just cute. I like my tangible goals. I think they're realistic. One of them might not be, but I think they're realistic. My first tangible goal would be to build up my financial literacy. So that means starting my investment accounts, finally building a system for my savings, because at the end of the day, I want to have a strong, healthy savings. And that'll probably be something that you and I will probably do together. My second tangible goal would be to buy my own car. The car that I have right now is the one that my dad got me when I was 19. That's the car I've had. I love her. She's still a luxury car, but I still love her. She's a bit old, like 2009, like she's old, like she's an old girl, but I love the car. She's quite literally my favorite thing in the world, and I cannot go one day without her. You know, we're being smart. We're being smart about these things. We're being smart. I'm not gonna get a car loan. I'm gonna be able to like buy this car and pay it off, like boom, like it's mine. No car payment, no car note. My third tangible goal is being more disciplined in my fitness journey. Like literally I can do it. Like it's not hard. I've lost 20 pounds before. I can do it again, but I really want to try and get back there again. That might be harder to do, but again, I'm taking those steps. One, quitting alcohol. And I mean, no, not even a little drinky drink. I'm getting the drinky drink out of there. Not even wine. I'm not drinking wine, not drinking alcohol, not drinking any cocktails, and none of that. Like a lot of my drinks going forward will be mocktails. Trying to limit my sugar intake. Not doing keto. I really want to keep carbs in my diet because at the end of the day, your brain needs carbs to function. So please don't do keto. Your brain needs those carbs. Fixing my nutrition so I can have more balanced and whole foods instead of processed foods. So that's, again, not eating out as much. And then also cooking at home, learning more whole food recipes. I already cook a lot of Nigerian food, but I want to like expand that so I can, you know, cook more and have a more balanced nutrition. I just want to feel more confident in the clothes that I want to wear. I love my body. I love that my body looks the way it does. I just think I could lose weight, and that's okay. I think that's totally fine. I think loving your body is like saying, okay, maybe I want to lose weight. Okay, maybe I want to gain weight. You know, I'm very body neutral. I love my body for what it does and not what it looks like. And so for me saying that I, want to lose weight, that is not a reflection of how I feel about my body, and it doesn't reveal any insecurities. I've learned to love my body, and part of loving my body is saying I can love it at different stages, and I can love it enough to get into certain stages. So my fourth tangible goal, being more focused and being more disciplined in my medical school career journey, and then two, my content creation journey. I think this TikTok ban showed me something that like, whoa, okay, like they could really play in our faces and take away a lot of stuff. Why would I not be lazy and sit on my butt and not do what I need to do to get my YouTube set up? Like I need to be on my YouTube bag. I need to be doing my thing. That's why my goal for this year is actually to try at least within these 3 months get at least 10% of what I have on TikTok to YouTube. So 10,000 people to YouTube and 10,000 people to Instagram. I have no idea what they're gonna do with TikTok, child. I really don't, but I am going to make sure that I establish myself here and establish myself on Instagram as well. And then my fifth tangible goal, I want to travel more. I want to get myself out of the city. I want to get out the country. I'm so tired of staying in Atlanta. Actually, I'm tired of seeing America in general from January to December. Like, I want to get out of this country. I want to see the world this year. I don't want to keep staying in the same place just because I can't seem to afford it or something goes wrong and this and that. No, that's why I'm hustling. I want to get out of the country. I want to have more stories to tell. I want to have more stories to share with you guys. I want to have more stories to give my kids. Like, I want to live my life to the point where my kids are like, oh, Mom, can you tell us about that time when you went to Brazil at 24? Yeah, duh. And I had a little Brazilian boyfriend the last time I was there. Yes, like I want to live. I want to get out of America. My intangible goals, again, are more spiritual and emotional. So this is more like on my relationship with my mental illness or my relationship with God. Like, these are my things I really want to take time to do internally. My biggest thing, growing my relationship with God. That's the most important thing. Like I said before, I'm a little bit nervous to talk about my religion and my relationship with God on here, but again, you never know who it might help. Again, just growing more. So taking part in spiritual activities, taking part in reading my Bible more, letting the Holy Spirit lead me in what direction I should go in, praying to God more, keeping an open dialogue with Christ. Like, that's really what I want to focus on this year, because I feel like whenever I really like do lean on God, man, do things get clear. It's not confusing, it's not crazy, it's interesting, and sometimes it might be a little bit chaotic because I'm seeing things that I didn't see before. But that's the only reason why I would call it chaotic, because it's like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know, right? It's no confusion, things feel clear, life feels like I have direction, and I can rely on somebody to really keep my back going. And that's crazy because that's literally one of my middle names. Like, God has my back, that's my middle name. I want to be able to have that relationship where I feel more faith-led than I'm being directionless and just seeing what happens if I fuck around and find out. Number 2 of my intangible goals would be finally addressing and letting go of my anxiety. I don't talk about my anxiety on my TikTok. I don't talk about anxiety in general. I just don't talk about it to anybody because, again, the way I grew up, we just didn't talk about mental illnesses. And I was struggling. I've been struggling with anxiety since I was a kid. And so it's really been a big factor in my life and how I moved and how I made certain decisions. It's not the anxiety I'm talking about. It's not like, oh my gosh, everyone hates me. Oh, I'm insecure. Oh my gosh, I can't go outside. Like, I'm talking panic attacks. I struggle with panic attacks. That's not something I like to talk to people about. It's not something I like to be open about, so I won't divulge too much. But I struggle like physically. Like, I have a heart tracker app on my phone where you like put your finger on the lens and it tracks your heartbeat. I do that every day just to make sure that my heart's beating fine, because sometimes I'll be laying down and I'll be having a panic attack and my heart rate will go up to 131 while I'm laying down. Your heart rate's not supposed to go into 131 when you're laying down. My body feels dysregulated a lot of the time, and I'm genuinely struggling physically because of my mental health. And I want to be able to just work on that and finally see somebody. So therapy will be one of those tools that I will be seeking. People don't talk about being a Black woman with ADHD. Like, we don't talk about how hard it is to also deal with anxiety at the same time. You feel anxiety about a certain issue, it generally affects you physically, but ADHD and your inability to focus is also on the other side saying, well, I don't know how to approach certain things, so we just won't approach it. You do get tired at a certain point. And I got tired. I got real tired. I'm tired now. I just don't want to get to the point where I'm medicated though. I really want to avoid medication. I'd like to keep my libido, thank you. I really want to let go of my oldest sister mechanisms. I am the oldest of 4. I have 3 younger brothers. And especially growing up in an immigrant household, like I became adultified way too soon. And because of that, I feel like I didn't really get to, again, enjoy being someone who was a teenager, or didn't really get to enjoy being an early adult. Like, I was so steeped and I was so like built into my oldest sister, second mom life kind of thing anyway. But I think at some point I said, okay, I'm gonna have to be selfish. I'm gonna have to like step back, and I cannot deal with you guys' issues. I cannot help you guys every time y'all have an issue. I have my own life. I like set that up. I have to do that. So it's just choosing myself more instead of like prioritizing other people. And don't get me wrong, I love my family, I love my friends, I love my community. At the end of the day, the only person who's responsible for your life is you. The only person responsible for my life is me at this point. Let's say I don't get married. I can't look and point at my parents and say, y'all didn't let me date, y'all didn't let me do anything, and that's why I'm not married now. No, the only person who's responsible for my life is me. And everyone's like, oh, well, like, people are where they grew up from, it's just how they grew up. And you didn't choose to change? I knew where I grew up from. I knew what culture I came from, but I decided to be different. But the way I want my life to go, the way I want my life to look, that's on me. And you cannot look and point your fingers at people when it's too late for you to finally get what you want, because at the end of the day, you thought, well, I was always responsible for everybody else. You should have said, y'all are on your own. I'm gonna go take care of myself. You have to let go, or else you're gonna be bitter and miserable. Like, please. That's why I had to sit with myself and say, I don't wanna get married right now. I don't wanna have children right now. I don't wanna do what everyone else is expecting me to do, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be there when you don't get what you want or when you're not happy with your life. They're not gonna be there to take accountability for taking what they wanted from you. So you need to be responsible for yourself. Like, don't wait on people to give you what you need to live your life. Go and get it yourself. I was not gonna let that happen. I had to break the curse. Choose the life you want and live it well. Choose the life you want and work for it. That's important. And we can talk about all these goals and how we want to have these goals and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, we need resources. So I want to share with you guys some of the resources that I already use to kind of stay on top of those goals, and some new ones that I will be using to get on top of those goals as well. One of the first tools that I loved using last year and I'm going to continue using this year is a digital planner. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but I love using my digital planner. I think I made this one by myself, but I do have another planner that I'm thinking about getting off of Etsy, and I'll link it down below. I go into a daily, you know, to-do list, and I go by schedule. I do water intake, my to-do list, my meal plan, what's on my schedule, things like that. It really helps me get it together. It really helps me get my life focused in a way where I can actually like focus on things. And I really enjoy it. I really, really, really enjoy it. I don't know. I'm thinking about creating my own digital planner and selling one, because I made this one myself and I really liked using it. But I don't know. I'm thinking about it. If you don't know what this app is though, in terms of using digital planners, I use the app GoodNotes. This is where I keep a lot of my notes. So anything, like let's say I have an interview, let's say I have some notes I want to take down, let's say I want to do some content planning, I will just probably take a note down here. But I love using my little iPad for little notes. If you don't have an iPad, get one. Just get an iPad. Everyone used to talk about how like, oh, an iPad's gonna change my life. It actually did change my life. I love using this little thing. I love using this iPad. It's so fun. Because I talked about getting closer to God. I also got myself a paperback hard copy Bible. I think it's the NLT translation. I like NLT translation. Sorry, I don't like KJV. And me and King James are not going to be friendly anytime soon. So I like the New Living Translation. I personally think it's a little bit more readable, and I like it this way. And I also got it because it was cute. Like, it was tan, it was cute. And I like it because it also has devotionals in there, so you can get to read summaries, has translations. It has a lot of like good notes on the side that you can read if you feel like you're not understanding what the passage is saying, but it really brings things into a really good perspective. So I like doing that. I think it's really important that as you are getting stronger in the word, it's also really important to journal. I love my little journal. There's some things in here that I'm not gonna open and show y'all, but it's good to have a paperback journal that you can write in when you're feeling down, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you don't know what to talk about. I've been thinking about getting a prompted journal, but I think something that's really important for me is just like to follow how I feel and to ask certain questions and give God enough space to answer them. I will probably try and get my hands on a prompted journal, but for now, I'm really just like having more of an open-ended conversation with myself and with God in these books, and just expressing how I feel, what I'm going through. I don't want to connect too many dots. I just want to talk about how I feel. So that's kind of what it fits it, right? But a nice old journal that you can probably get yourself from Target, Walmart, something like that, or Amazon. I think I got this off of Amazon actually. I'll link it because it's cute. I think I've actually been writing in this since I was 21 actually. I've been looking at this, I'm like, 21-year-old me was going through some things, girl. We were going through some things, and it was always about a boy. Journaling is one of those things where like, if you really give it a shot, if you really give it a chance, my goodness, will it change everything. Right when you know you are feeling something strong, you just don't know how to say it, write it down. Write it down as it is in your head, and you can see it clearer. And I think that helps me as someone whose thoughts are usually jumbled up all the time, and my brain is always moving faster than my mouth, so I can't really just get the right words together. But sitting down and writing forces my brain to slow down, think, and get what I'm trying to say out. So I think that's why journaling is a really important tool. As you're getting closer to God, or as you're building your spiritual journey up, or as you're doing anything, or as you're working through a certain situation, as you're getting therapy, journal. It's really important, because then you get to work things out, and then also get to read back and see how much you've grown since then. Like, I read back some of the stuff that I've written here, and I'm like, oh, thank God we don't mess with this person no more. Like, thank God this is not an issue for me anymore. Like, we thank God for growth, and that's what I really like about having a journal. As far as my financial goals, I said I really wanted to get into investing, and while I was thinking about that, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get Elvest. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. Anyone that I bring up in this video, I'm not sponsored by. This is completely just me talking. Like, this is just me yapping. This is our yap session. I think it's good to be around women who also want to be in the same financial position as you, like, who are also kind of working towards financial freedom and, you know, having investments and making the right decisions financially. And I think it's good to be around those kind of women. So women-led investment apps, I'm gonna be there. I really want to get good at budgeting. So I got myself the Albert app. I like it, not only because it spots you money when you need it, but I don't even use it for that. I actually like to use it in terms of the automatic savings feature. It just automatically pulls money out of my account, so I can save money. It definitely comes in handy. It also helps me see where I need to calm down on my spending, because I remember I looked at my budgeting, I looked at my spending in one of the months from last year, and I spent almost $1,500 on food. And I was like, you're actually lying. There's no way I spent $1,500 on food and eating out. You're lying. But no, I looked through everything, and some of that stuff was like, okay, me covering the bill for certain things, and everyone paid me back, but I just didn't. It doesn't do checks and balances, that's okay. But like, there were some months where I didn't do that though, and I was like, there's still $500 in eating out. Like, I think one month was like $700, and I didn't eat out with a group, which is me. I was like, what? I ate out that much? Yeah, I did. Again, the unit year doesn't really start until January 21st, so we're already a couple of days into it. You know what I'm saying? We're already heading into February, even though January's been bad long. But we're heading into February, so we're just gonna do better at that. I really hope you guys were able to enjoy this video. I know that this is probably a video you probably had on in the background and didn't really watch all the way through, but if you did, thank you for staying. I really appreciate the fact that I'm gonna be able to create this community where we can talk about certain things and be real and authentic about certain things. I think it's a blessing to be able to do what I do. It's a blessing to be able to connect with you guys. And this has to be one of those things that we connected. And if we all want to go together, we got to be honest and authentic about what we want to grow in. I cannot wait to continue sharing my stories with you guys. I can't wait to keep growing with you. I can't wait to show you what else is new in my life and what we're going in. I'm excited. I think just putting more effort into things, I'm just really excited about it now. So I'm going to go ahead and end off this video. But please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you have any questions, like any questions about anything that I might have talked about today, anything you might have heard me talk about before but I didn't clarify on before, anything that, you know, just anything you want to get off your chest to me, talk to me. I want to talk to you guys in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
If the shit was a competition, I'd win. Forever your favorite.
Ooh, girl, I can yap. Ooh, girl, I can yap. Girl.